young man, pick yourself off the ground. I've been Donald Trump. Thank you and good night.
Then what size?
This one's from Jeremy in Wisconsin. And it says, Toffee Brand Coffee is the best coffee in the world. Thanks for the grift.
Anyway, I'm going to find out who this quartering character is. And when I do, he's going to get a bit of the old ice cold treatment.
Went from loathing Brie Larson to being the unofficial #1 fan site for Brie Larson.
How about a handshake? You're gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm gonna let you keep your hand.
Welcome to the Canada show here on this Tuesday. I've got all the Canucks lined up. Sire Williamson is here to talk about some Canadian politics. So I thought I'd bring in our good friend Viva from vivabarneslaw.locals.com, as well as Rumble's mega fame, drafting live off the massive audiences we pass him. He'd be nothing without our raids. Of course, Melanie, fresh from her Pittsburgh Steelers, lucking out. Did you see
a new curly hair routine? Melanie and Viva, you got to drop like a product?
Oh yeah,
there's something.
Collab.
Yeah. Did you see, Melanie, that there was this thing where they were like, a priest was spreading holy water on the end
and it was the same end zone,
where
and
he
you
missed.
can see an angel moved that ball. So I may or may not have seen the angel in person.
I'm sure, depending on how many beers people had, other people also saw the angels. Hannah Claire's here. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. We've got Viva just for a little bit of time. So I want to open up with the Bongino story, because I wanted to kind of get everybody's take, because it's a kind of a reference to everything that's going on in the space right now. So Dan Bongino, let me bring up his tweet here, and
the stream's not showing on Rumble, by the way.
Yeah. We're not on the homepage.
Well, people are saying it's not working. Like the chat is saying they don't see anything on Rumble.
Really?
It's just a 5-second replay.
Hold up. If I click.
Yeah, no, it's working.
I see it live on my end. Maybe they have to refresh.
Okay.
Is my mic too hot, by the way?
No, you're good.
Sounds good.
Viva Fry and too hot has never been in the same sentence.
So hot, this microphone. Oh, am I stupid? I never saw that movie with Brie Larson, but is that a direct ripoff of Terminator when he said, "I'm going to need your bike, your motorcycle"?
Kind of, I think. Yeah. Like they probably, because there's never any new ideas, so they probably did. But I noticed that. I don't know if people picked this up or not, but like Dan Bongino's now back in the private sector. Many people speculated what's going to go on. Selfishly, I'm like, look, if Dan comes back, all of our numbers get immediately much, much better. I know that's probably not.
It's a very pragmatic mercenary take.
Yeah. Yeah. But he came out and he's calling out, but he, of course, doesn't name anybody. but he talks about black pillars and grifters and how he's going to be like taking on. And then he got into it with Matt Gaetz today.
That was surprising. I just saw that before going live.
Yeah, what I'll start with Viva and I'll go to Sire and then we'll go around the clock here. What do you make of, like, Dan's got a good amount of heat on him. Like, there are people that are really mad at Dan. I'll share my position later because I'm not mad at him. I feel like he probably did the best he could, but what do you make of this, him coming out and just being like, all right, I'm going to be that guy now? It feels like he's like saying, I'm going to be the unifying voice in the conservative movement. It feels like that.
Unifying. My issue is that I don't, this is the opposite of unifying. And like, we don't know who he's talking about. I could say, I don't think he's talking about me because we still follow each other. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
he did unfollow me.
Oh no!
He did DM me though yesterday, so like I think we're fine.
Okay.
You know? The Dilly meme team hasn't even blocked me, despite us getting into it earlier today. So I'm not that stupid that the meme team has to block me. So you don't know who he's talking about. You assume he's talking about Tucker, maybe Thomas Massey, maybe Candace Owens. The thing is, what I find, or maybe Nick Fuentes. And so,
good point. Yeah.
Even if he's talking about these people, my issue is, on the one hand, it was only the attempts to discredit Nick Fuentes that mainstreamed him into public light in the first place. Same thing with Candace Owens. Yeah. And the second thing is, there's a lot of Candace followers, Tucker followers, Massey followers, and Nick followers who are or were Bongino followers who followed him for years and heard everything he had to say about the biggest issues of our time, January 6th, Epstein, and they're disenfranchised and disillusioned, and demonizing the person that they've turned to now is not going to invalidate what that person's saying. It might only actually strengthen it in their eyes. And this is not how you unify for 2026. I tweeted earlier, 2024 was won with the unity ticket of Tulsi Gabbard and her supporters and RFK Jr. and his supporters. You're not going to win 2026 by declaring war on dissident thought coming from the, whatever you want to call them, thought leaders or grifters, depending on who your perspective is, of the right. So I strategically, I think it's wrong. And it opens up a lot of fronts of legitimate attack and criticism of Bongino for taking this tact. But maybe he'll calm down, tone it down, and try to unify it instead of.
He may. I don't think he's gonna. He may also be referring to his own fans that have turned on him. I think that might also be a part of it. With another Canadian take, Sarah, what do you think? I mean, obviously, there's, as Viva pointed out, we have kind of this fracturing. My opinion is that like Candace Owens was never a conservative, and so like
I'm a little biased on Candace Owens.
Okay, fair, but like Nick Fuentes, I don't think was ever really conservative either. Like he was not a strong conservative voice. He was a dissident guy who, I think, and I'm fine with Nick. Nick and I get along fine. I don't agree with everything he says. But what do you make of Dan coming out and stirring the pot like day one?
I think that really what everybody was being held together with Trump's first election was the hope that we drain the swamp, that there would be arrests, that people would actually be punished for the crimes that they're committing. And that fractured the conservative right. Is that they're not seeing any action. I mean, now we're seeing a little of the DHS is going into Minneapolis.
A little, yeah. 1,000 arrests this month or something they said in the last 30 days since they've surged law enforcement there.
Yeah, and so people are conflicted on the going into Venezuela too, because bad dude Maduro. Is that how you say his name? Maduro. Yeah. He was a bad dude, and I talked about it when he rose to power. But they can't even arrest people in the U.S. and they're going out to Venezuela and arresting somebody for crimes committed against the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, so Sire's clearly one of the black pillars out there. But that is a legitimate criticism that I've saw very loudly on social media. Like, yeah, cool, we got oil, but like we haven't even really cleaned up what's going on in Minnesota. We got a little something with Tim Walz stepping down, but it's not like he's in jail. What do you think, Hannah Claire, is this just Dan stirring the pot because he wants to come back to a huge show? Is he? I think he's actually talking about his viewers that have turned on him, and probably like Dan is a big pro-Israel guy. That's not a hot take. So it's presumable that he is talking about Nick and Candace and Tucker as well too. I don't think that's a reach.
Sure. I mean, to me, this just echoes the overarching theme that we've been seeing throughout 2025, which is that the MAGA movement as a big umbrella term is up for grabs, and it's up for persuasion, basically. I think that there's this idea that there are, that it's not a defined movement. It never has been. It's always been grassroots, which means that it's open to interpretations. And this sort of coming out hot and pointing at maybe people that you would have otherwise linked arms with and being like, actually, we're against each other now, to me seems like it's a setup to potentially come back to a large show, which, hustlers, grifters, who knows? It's part of marketing on X, I guess. To be
what is even a grifter? Yeah, somebody I disagree with.
Look, I'm bad at X, so I don't know if I can.
Everybody's trying to find. Everybody's trying to find the right thing to grift on now.
And he got attention for this. I mean, it's not like he came out quietly. But on the other hand, to me, if you're saying you're here to unify or whatever, this is clearly not it. Like, you can't come out and be like, and half of you are bad, and I'm not going to name specific names. Like, it's one thing to come out and like tag the people. I would have almost respected.
I would have respected that more too.
Like, so iconic to come out and be like, I'm specifically mad at this person, this person, this person, this person. Instead, it's sort of vague and open ended. And I didn't. I have no opinion on Dan Bongino. I did not follow his content very closely before. Feel like I'm more familiar with him from his time in the Trump White House at this point, because it seemed like it was not his strongest professional hour. So it to me seemed more like a marketing gimmick. I'm used to everybody fighting on X, so it's not that different than what everyone else does to me.
That's why I've been off X now for almost 2 weeks, and
you feel like you're detoxing.
Well, it's part of that, but also I'm kind of seeing, like, I talked to Melanie a lot about it, and like, I'm starting to see a lot more clearly that a lot of this like infighting is nonsense. It's just like driving interaction. But it seems like, I'll get Melanie's take, but I mean, this tweet did get 106,000 likes. It's not like it's not like he got ratioed.
Struck a chord for sure.
Yeah. And I think I also am kind of the, hey, this probably isn't very unifying, but also like maybe Dan's the guy that's got to say some of the things that need to get said. What's your reaction to it, Melanie? Do you think, because he said if we blocked you, it's because we care so little about your bullshit. It's like, Dan,
I kind of like the scorched earth thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm about it. I don't know who he's talking about. I would guess maybe like the Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, something like that. That's what my first impression is, but I could be wrong. All I have to say is that there's certain people we can't unify with on the right. We just can't. And I want to see what he has to say. I'm here for it. Like, might as well make a big, bold statement like this. Yeah. I'm all about it. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
It's probably better than not having a take, even if I'm like, another person to fight.
It also sets the narrative, right? Like, everyone was waiting to hear an explanation for what happened with his time with the FBI. And now he's basically turned the page and been like, I'm going after you guys. Like, the best defense is a good offense, is what they say. And instead of it being like, I'll explain my time or whatever, he is coming out hot, so you look the other direction. I don't blame him for that, but
I have a sneaking suspicion some of the people that are blocked that he's referring to are the Kyle Serafins, the Steve Friends, and the Ivan Rakelins, and Steve Baker. A lot of the FBI whistleblowers who are still, you may not agree or agree, still angry with the current FBI for having not reinstated the whistleblowers and not properly compensated them. That's why he might be talking about them. But the bottom line, Jeremy, if he's talking about his own viewers, I was saying this also, like, if you can't convince people that you're winning, you're not going to win them over by telling them that they're losers. So I don't think it's like, dude, we're winning so well. You don't understand it. Well, you're a loser, and you don't understand that life is better now than it was a year ago. The reality is, and I sort of understand why he might be defensive and has to come out swinging. There's no way. I don't believe what who was it? Martin. What's his name? Not Ed. Was it Ed Martin or was it Sean Davis who said it? Basically, like, Bongino's out after a year. He accomplished a lot of things. He's trying to say he accomplished everything he wanted to get accomplished. Now he's out. He's going to go back to the private sector. I don't think
nobody believes that. Yeah.
So nobody believes that. But what I do believe, and maybe I'm giving too much of the benefit of the doubt to Bongino, and a lot of people who are angry at him say, Viva, you're being too charitable. I think he had to get the hell out of there because he could not affect the change that he wanted to. And from what I understand, when everyone leaves, everyone pats each other on the back, and it's the polite, cordial, professional thing to do. But they clearly weren't all getting along internally. There's no doubt about that. And so he had to get the hell out. He couldn't get done what he wanted to get done. It was compromising not his brand and his reputation. I think it was compromising his core beliefs, that he had to go in there and toe a line that he had been speaking out against for the last 5 years. And no, I don't think he changed his tune because he saw more evidence. Anybody saying that, I don't believe that for a second. So, but I think this is part of a preemptively defensive reaction to come out and say, look, I have to distract. I can't talk about January 6th pipe bomber anymore. I can't talk about Epstein. So what am I going to talk about? I'm going to declare war on Candace, Tucker, Nick, and whoever. And that's what he can talk about now.
Yeah, that's probably the correct assumption. I'm like you. I give Dan a little bit more benefit. Like, I think he went in there and then he was like, oh shit, it's way worse than I ever imagined. And he probably did the only thing he could do. I'm on record saying, like, he's better off having quit. Like, he's going to have people that are pissed at him either way. But if he takes the Kash Patel route where he like entrenches himself, like, Dan will be able to get that stink off him a little bit. And I do think Dan's probably better for Mega back in the private sector anyway. Since we have so many Canadians, I wanted to, one of the things that was important to Sire to talk about, and that's why, like, I wanted to have you on specifically, and also Canadian Light, Hannah Claire, is this Bill C9 that's been kind of, I wanted to get Sire's take on it and see where you're, and then go to Viva, because this is obviously something that there's like this pipeline of free speech suppression that usually starts in the UK, then it trickles over to Canada, and then it comes down to the United States. This has been true of many things like hate speech and also other nonsense. What do you see happening? I'll go to Sire and then Viva here with Bill C9. When you're codifying hatred as a crime now, like, where do you see this going? And then what are your takes on it?
Well, this is a pretty serious one for me. I started fighting off things with C4, which was the anti-conversion therapy one. But it's intended to restrict Christian evangelization and to
C4 or C9?
C9. C4 was also part of that, but that's a different story. C9 is, they've taken out in committee, like we have like 8 stages before something becomes a law. We have 3 readings and a committee, and it's first reading, second reading, committee, third reading, and then it goes off to the Senate for the same process. And the Senate is completely controlled by the Liberal government, so it's just a rubber stamp, and most people think,
as long as it makes the committee, it's happening.
Yeah,
basically,
and it's already passed committee. And in committee, they removed an exemption, which I have up here. I'm just going to read that. There was an exemption if in good faith a display of the symbol was intended to point out for the purpose of removal matters. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one.
I just love how these things have
no pressure.
These have 4 stages more. Passing a law in Canada has 4 stages more than cancer in real life, which I think is analogous to what the hell's going on in Canada.
Yeah, and it's already terminal.
Yeah.
But anyway, if the statement was were relevant to any subject and it was made in good faith on for religious purposes, they took out that clause out of Bill 9.
So they took out a religious exemption clause, basically.
Oh.
Right. And so, and Mark Miller, who's supposedly the Minister of Culture, defined that Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and Romans are hateful books of the Bible. And they should be, anybody who quotes from them should be charged with a hate crime.
Oh my goodness.
Mark, you got to know Mark Miller. He was riding not far from where I lived in Montreal once upon a time, if I'm not mistaken. He used to have his name written in Aboriginal language because he was the Minister of Native Affairs, I think, or something along those lines.
Yeah, now he's the Minister of Canadian Culture.
It's like these are a bunch of incompetent nincompoops that have failed their way upwards into government. Just to go to the codified of the hatred part, which everyone finds the most ridiculous thing. How do you codify hatred? They've basically just usurped or codified the legal definition that the Supreme Court had already issued as to what hatred is, which is an emotion. I love it. I just love reading it. It's Orwellian and plus mental tardation. It's an emotion stronger than disdain, aiming to well, that's not the full definition.
How do they measure that?
They basically measure it based on how much you're offended by what was just said.
Yeah, yeah, and it's made so that because he hates the people reading like Romans 26, which Romans 1:26. And men likewise gave up natural relations with women and were consumed with passions for one another, right? And so to him, that's a hateful statement.
Wow.
And that's what they want to remove.
Well, what if it was in the Quran?
Oh, that this has got nothing.
I noticed they didn't call it any
the
chapters of the Quran. There's
lots of stuff in the Quran against homosexuals.
Right.
But that's not what they're. It's because a lot of the politicians hate Christianity, right? And so they want to. That's not considered codified hate in the law, as long as it's directed at Christians.
Wow.
Oh, right.
What I found really ironic too is that Romans, which is the book that he wants to ban reading from, is also the same book that tells us to obey the government and pay our taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
I mean, he's never actually read Romans. He's just read the parts that he doesn't like.
Well, I guess we're not supposed to pay taxes or honor the government anymore because he said it was a hateful book. And
okay.
You can't just pick out one verse or another. You have to, either the whole book is hateful or none of it is.
You got to hear this, Jeremy. It's okay. Canada defines hatred: an intense emotion of detestation or vilification, going beyond mere dislike, offense, or humiliation, targeting identifiable groups and threatening societal values as established in Keekstra. Keekstra is the Supreme. I mean, opaque is not the bug; it's the feature, and so that you can apply it to whatever you want, and you can exempt whatever you want, depending on the politics of the day.
And that's one of the other big things about this bill is that you no longer have to take it to the Minister of Justice to determine whether charges will be brought. Each individual justice can determine for themselves whether it was a hate crime or not.
Wow. Well, where is this in terms of how close is this becoming to a reality? It sounds like imminent.
One more reading in the House, which is already the Liberals are only short a majority by one seat, and the Bloc Québécois party has agreed to pass this law. So basically, people who quote scripture it's going to be illegal.
So is this going to be like? So Viva, do you see this being like the UK where they arrest what's going to happen if you just tweet Bible verses? Are they gonna
forget that? What's gonna happen if you just tweet there are only two sexes, or if you?
Well, that's already a crime.
No, I know that's it. I'm just trying to see how, Sire. I don't know how many conservatives currently oppose this, or so-called conservatives. I'm trying to see.
I got a letter in the official letterhead from my MP asking his constituents to contact their religious organizations and for themselves to send letters to the government.
So your MP is opposing it.
He's opposing it, but the fact that he sent it with an official letterhead from his office means that they all think this is a very serious issue, enough that they'll put their letterhead on it.
But I wonder if that's because there's got to be a handful of conservatives that are not opposing it. It's the same conservatives that voted unanimously in favor of the conversion therapy ban a while back. I mean, it's the same conservatives. Who was it? Not Michelle Rempel. Whatever. Nobody's going to know in America, but some conservative literally put one of her staffers through re-education because of some misgendering thing. And I saw this video, and these are Canadian conservatives. So I think it's basically a done deal. They're going to get this passed. And then the only question is how quickly, because they don't have to have elections for the next 3 years, or what is it now? Three and a half years. And they've got an effective majority because between NDP, however many seats they have, and the Green and the Bloc, which is the Quebec federal party, they're going to be able to pass whatever they want. And I think they're going to even have some conservative support for this.
Well, our Senate is 98% appointed by Justin Trudeau. And
okay, so he's
that
not
was a lifetime appointment.
Oh yeah, and he jammed like 5 through in his last. He jammed 5 through when they prorogued Parliament. I think he jabbed it. What is the word I'm looking for?
Jammed. Yeah.
4 or 5 through when they prorogued Parliament. In
Probably jabbed them too.
One of them, he jabbed them through. That's no. So it's Canada. The government is so politely corrupt, but so thoroughly corrupt that they smile as they do it.
So Melanie,
our
go ahead,
I would say, you know, I'm Canadian, but I didn't grow up there. Like my parents, my mom is Canadian, and I have my citizenship. And a lot of time there's family. It is one of these things that in America, I feel like when you start saying like they're going to trample on religious freedoms, there are a lot of people, despite decreased church attendance, that are like, that's not okay. I feel like generally Canadian society is more secular. That's my anecdotal impression. And so it almost, to me, would seem harder to raise the alarm bells. There isn't the instinctive, trampling of free speech, concerns about religious freedoms. I don't know if that's y'all's impression.
It's
it depends on the state.
Yeah, here's what I do know. For the non-Canucks here, this kid, I wanted to share as a white pill for everyone.
I thought it was a kid with a cyborg guy. I didn't realize.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's going to prison under this new law. By the way, this is a child pastor. And
oh wow,
yeah, I just thought Melanie would enjoy his energy here.
Okay.
You say.
Can you guys hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That you're a Christian, right? Say that you're a Christian. I want you to listen to me good. You say you're a Christian, but you're gay. But you're gay.
Why are you gay?
You married a woman. You married a man, but you say you're a Christian. Wait a minute, now that don't add up. I mean, go read Leviticus.
I love that he's got the pastor
he's
watch.
reading the Forbidden Leviticus too.
Right, that's what I say. He's going to read from that. Yeah.
18 and 22 and see what it says. Go read Romans 1, 26 through 27 and see what it says.
That's what I read.
Be careful you let in the chamber of your marriage. I've had people to look at me and say, Mason, don't you know you got to have license to preach? Huh? License to preach.
I love he's got the gold watch, the gold AP watch.
Can tell me how to preach. And I'm sorry. The Lord called me to preach and nobody else called me but the Lord. My mama didn't do it. My mama didn't sign me up for it. My daddy didn't sign me up for it. And let me tell you something, the most best thing that ever happened in my life is when I let Jesus in the chamber of my life.
Yeah, this kid's going straight to jail.
Yeah, I mean, like
Canada has preemptively banned him. They're like,
I love him. He's in Canada?
I don't know. That's got to be the stuff. But it's a little. I mean, he's been clearly emulating someone else that he's been watching.
Yeah,
he has.
But first of all, Canada's not so far away from Americans. Like New York, Michigan, California, they're in the same direction, not yet in the same at the same distance. But we are going to see a lot. I'm predicting it, and hopefully I'll be wrong. But if we haven't already started seeing it, we are going to see what we're seeing in the UK. And the tendency is you see it in the UK, it reaches peak apex in the UK, and then it starts dying down by the time it starts reaching peak apex in North America or Canada. You go with the trans movement. So we will start to see this, people being, fined or jailed for social media posts or disbarred.
They've tried, right, Viva? Like New York had some legislation at the state level about like cyberbullying and online hate speech, the Online Safety Act or something. They had something like that going on.
Call it safety acts.
Yeah. And they're always protecting the children.
Think of the kids. Legislation.
People just got convicted in France for cyberbullying Brigitte Macron. I mean, like, this is going to happen everywhere under the name of cyberbullying, hate speech, which is obviously not a real thing. Like,
no, like you imagine they're going to say misgendering, which is actually the misgendering that they're saying you're doing is actually the correct gendering, but to not misgender is going to be punishable. I was trying to find the actual statements for what the people in France allegedly, or I guess what they actually said, because you can imagine it could be harassing and stalking, whatever that might mean under the law, and they try to shock you and say, oh, it's because they said she's a man. But I mean, you could imagine violating.
Well, that's an act of violence, according to some politicians. They attach that word to it.
It's an act of genocide to deny the existence of trans people. So that will be under the Online Harms Act in Canada.
That's why they're codifying gender identity, because
that's step
you can
one,
identify
right?
as whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I go by sire. Is that is my official legal?
That's right. The
pronoun.
government has to refer to you as sire, correct?
Yeah. I was on CPAC with Derek Fildebrandt, and they referred to me as Sire Williamson.
I love that.
When I ran for school board, I was Sire Williamson for school board.
Yeah, shout out to Sire, by the way. You guys might not know that, but he helped us go attend AmFest. So he was a based Canadian Chad. We actually have, I went and looked, and we have like 20% viewership in Canada. It's easily our second biggest, so we have a good amount of reach up there.
Are you saying we're going on a Canadian tour? Is that what
you're
that's next.
Yeah, maybe I'll send.
I'll welcome you up here if you want to stop in, but you might have a hard time crossing the border. You might get arrested for.
I'll go to jail. 1,000%.
Yeah, Melanie will. Yeah, Melanie's cook.
She's like, it's Canadian jail. She doesn't even take it that seriously.
True.
Yeah. By the way, I have a bone to pick. So Melanie's like, haha, teehee. I think I'll join. Shout out. This fucking chick has like 1 million orders. I'm on shout out, guys. I'll do whatever you want. Do a shout out video, and then like I look at Melanie's orders. She's got like 50 orders in a day. I'm like, she's just having. Guys are paying her money to call, and I'm like, I need to have that shtick.
Something just beeped out what you just said. What'd you say, Jeremy?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I said, like that. Yeah.
It's been great.
I want one of those buttons.
Yeah, they're very helpful when I have Melanie on the show. The other Canadian thing I want, and then there's some other topics I want to talk about, including what's going on in Iran. But I only have Viva. He's live right after us, so we try to.
If I'm out by 10-2, we got a good 20 minutes.
Okay, well, I wanted to get your take on this, 51st state Alberta separatist movement. That is kind of Sire sent this over too. I'll kick it to him first, and then we'll go to Viva and then Hannah Claire, and then after 2:00, we'll. Melanie's waiting patiently, but I wanted to get our Canadian hot takes in here.
I like having a Canadian news day. This is cool.
Well, it's also a Testro cast. 3 guys, only 2 girls. It's very rare.
Testro cast on Tuesdays.
In fairness, my estrogen levels are very high.
It the Maple Cast.
Yeah.
Sire, what province are you in?
I'm in Alberta.
Okay, so you're in the thick of it.
Yeah.
So you tell us. Are you guys leaving, or what's the deal?
Well, it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to have the referendum.
They're suing over that, right? Like you got to the point where you could get signatures, and people are pissed that you're even able to gather signatures now.
Yeah, and we actually have more than enough pledges to sign it to already force a referendum on it. So it's already going to happen.
What does that mean for us in America, though? When it says a referendum, what does that actually mean?
It's basically they ask the residents of the province whether they want to leave Confederation, leave Canada. And if you vote yes, theoretically, you're supposed to negotiate with the federal government on the terms of exit, kind of like leaving the EU.
Well, like in America, that's an act of war.
Yeah, but it was part of Confederation that we were allowed to do this.
Texas brings this up sometimes. Texas will occasionally have efforts to put a referendum on the ballot to vote to secede, and hasn't happened yet, but there's always a thought that it could become its own nation again.
It's going to blow your minds. I had to refresh my memory because after the referendum in Quebec in 95 or 96, they had the court come out with it was either a piece of legislation or they clarified what the Clarity Act meant, which was the terms under which a province could secede from the country. And so they got it. You get your referendum, which they can't stop you from doing. And then you've got to negotiate the terms of the release. But the federal government doesn't have to accept it at the end of the day. So they don't have to recognize it. Yeah. And so Jeremy, I sent you the mob meme from The Godfather. Like every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. There's sorry. You'll say whether or not you think Alberta's ever going to separate. I don't think it's.
Just never thought I was out.
Yeah.
They pull me back in.
Yep. The federal government is not going to let the richest province of the country leave the federation.
Well, if we left, the country would collapse because the Maritimes are already nearly.
Yeah, that's a humble brag. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm from the Maritimes. I'm from New Brunswick originally. And so
I'm a
I know what
Wow.
She's a newfie too. Yeah, Anna Claire.
Well, he's not. What's different, but maritime.
Oh yeah, but we know those newfies.
Yeah.
My friends from Toronto say it's the West Virginia of Canada. So
Newfoundland is the most beautiful province in Canada, and the people are the nicest people on earth, but they are incomprehensible in their accent. We went through a Tim Hortons. I drove there with my wife in 2000. I could not understand a word they were saying, and I had to pull up to the. It was like a perfect mix between. Like the thickest Irish accent and the drunkest person you've ever met at a bar.
Yes, those are my people. It was the first ever, from what I know from the Newfies in my family, or the Newfoundlanders in my family, it was the first language or dialect to have a dialect to English dictionary printed. Newfoundland to English dictionary. It still exists anyways. Okay, keep going, my New Brunswick friend.
Well, what does that mean then? If they cede, are they just their own nation then? Like it becomes its own.
This whole talk about the 51st state, it's all Americans saying that. The Alberta separatists, who I know some of the, shall I say, I'm friends with, the founding fathers.
Okay.
That's our thing. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here with that. Yeah.
And I know that there's no intent on joining the U.S. because why would we leave Canada to be controlled by the deep state?
You're leaving because you want to be sovereign, not because not because you want to join America.
You guys are rich. Like, you don't need America the way some other places might.
No, I mean, we already have negotiated pipelines through the U.S. to the West Coast, so we wouldn't be landlocked, which is a lot of the argument that I receive from other Canadians, is that, oh yeah, we'll be cutting yourself off from the ocean. It's like, no, we already have pipelines through the U.S., so we're not cut off. There is.
So they're gathering signatures now. So, I guess like symbolically, it's a thing. But like, if they get enough signatures, then what happens next?
Well, we have to negotiate the terms of exit with the federal government, but we would have the high ground on that.
Okay.
And it's going to take probably 10 years to separate if the referendum goes well and they agree to it. I'm a little bit more black-pilled. I think that Canada's not going to let us go, and it will probably
find an exception. They'll say, "Well, this doesn't qualify."
The Crown will not recognize it. Pure and simple. Too bad. You held your vote. It passed by. Even assuming the referendum passes, because right now they've got, I think it was like 10% to get to a referendum. You'll hold the referendum, assuming they get more than 50%. Is it absolute majority or simple majority on the referendum? In Quebec, it was simple. They didn't even get there.
Yeah, it was on the referendum. It's a simple majority as far as
50% plus one.
Yeah.
It'll never happen. What will happen in the interim, and Mark Carney's already started doing it, is he'll free up or loosen up Alberta to be more independent and stop taxing them at the wazoo, and maybe stop what they call those equalization payments, which is stealing from Alberta to give to Quebec. They'll do that before they
It's like a luxury tax in sports, right, Melanie?
They can't stop the equalization payments because the industry in Ontario and the Maritimes is dead.
Yeah, well, if they can force those are not poor provinces. I mean, the whole argument is that New Brunswick, if it exploits tourism, if it exploits natural resources, they're not poor provinces, and they're certainly not as massive as Ontario and Quebec. I mean, Sire, refresh my memory. I think hydro electricity is excluded from revenues for equalization payments. Is that right?
As far as I remember, yeah, because Quebec is majority hydro power, and that Quebec receives a ton of equalization payments, but doesn't give any to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see this excluded from. So it's Alberta's never going to get out. What's going to happen? But what will happen is Carney will negotiate some sort of energy independence for the province to keep them happy. Or they'll tie it up in court for 10 years. And then in the interim, you're going to have like government funded provincial liberation terrorist organizations that are going to arise. They're going to have to come down with an iron fist on the people of Alberta.
Yeah, that was my interpretation, is that it's going to end up in a violent separation.
Well, that's the only way it really ends, right? Like, Speaking of, I saw this, and I always put videos in my back pocket for Estrocast. Today's Testrocast. But I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know if there's a Canadian take on this, but I don't know if you guys saw Trump recently impersonated a trans weightlifter.
Oh.
Where's it going?
Yeah. This is not AI. This is not AI. Usually I'll set up an AI video like it's real. This is real.
And you see, I want to be more, but I have somebody watching.
Oh, wait, let me go back here.
And you see, I want to be more, but I have somebody watching. I want to be more effusive. I want to really, But she gets in it.
He can't resist.
Drops the thing, walks off the stage crying. Her mother's crying, her father's crying. Guy gets up. He said, have you lifted before? A little bit. And he walks up, he could have gone ding, 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 ding. I think it was 112 pounds, right? It's crazy.
What's the one he said? Effusive? I'm looking that up.
Yeah, I think he meant
like
offensive.
Yeah, effusive.
No.
An actual
means
word.
like you're being demonstrative.
Yeah,
damn,
but
I got IQ'd by Trump.
Contextually, I'm not sure that I think he meant offensive, but
yeah.
I think it works either way. No.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you guys know the story of the? I think it was up in Canada.
That's what made me think of it.
Yeah, it was the male bodybuilder who identified as trans, goes in and crushes all the records. Then some objectively, I say objectively male,
an objectively male, not like a trans person, but like
another male goes in and says, "Yeah, I identify," breaks his records, and then that person complains about the fact that this other disingenuous so-called. He broke my records. I'm legit trans, and everybody here likes me. And it's not fair that this guy came in and broke my records when I broke the woman's records. It's a Babylon Bee.
Also, I thought they're not allowed to do that. Like he's supposed to accept that person is trans because we're supposed to accept that he is trans.
Well, in Canada, you're not allowed
hate speech. No, I could be wrong, but
in Canada, that's straight to jail.
You're only allowed to affirm somebody. You cannot.
Well, that's like these OnlyFans girls.
Sorry, Melanie, keep going.
Oh yeah, these OnlyFans girls were putting stuffing their pants and
with fake
pretending
dogs,
that they were transgender, but they were actually girls, like real girls. And so then the Troons got so mad because they're like, "What? You can't pretend to be trans? How dare you?"
My identity's not your paycheck.
The irony.
It's
how funny.
Capitalism is like life; it finds a way. People will find a way to make money off the latest thing, and that stuff. Yeah, you get really attractive women.
Before
that same thing happened
go ahead.
with me when I came out with my sire pronoun. Asked me, was in an interview, and I said my pronouns are sire or your eminence, and he laughed. And then I went on and complained about how the fact that he laughed at my pronouns, but he legally had to use them.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what rules for radicals, right? You have to use their own insanity. Now, I know Viva's got to go, but I wanted to get your take on Iran. I was actually just looking at Kalshi, by the way. Shout out to Kalshi, friend of the show, supporter of the show. By the way, Kalshi, you can use it to check odds or track just sentiment. And it's the only place to trade these kind of events legally in all 50 states. They have a $10 promo for people who sign up with my link in the description. So it's kalshi.com/quartering. I'll definitely have to get Viva hooked up with them.
Yep, I'm checking the one bet I have. The one investment I have right now is Frankenstein for Best Picture. Is currently at 1 penny. I'm down.
Oh no, you're 99% dog.
I loved Frankenstein.
No, I know. I got it at 3% because my theory is it will at least get a nomination, and then when it's reduced to the top,
it'll go
10,
up.
It'll go up a bit. But it was great. I haven't seen one battle after another, but I'm not buying anything at 73% because.
Well, that's a movie that's made to win awards. It's not even a good movie. Yeah. But so I was looking at Kalshi, for Supreme Leader, and there's a pretty big drop today. And it's on the heels of kind of this idea that, right now police in Iran are joining the revolution. At least some videos. Again, you never really know how much of this is like CIA like propaganda. But people are celebrating as police officers now are putting down their weapons in these videos.
I don't believe anything I see anymore. It's CIA and CAI.
Again, this hasn't been community noted yet, so I don't know. Certainly, there is a lot going on. If this is, what do you make? I'll go to Viva and then let him get out the door here. And by the way, we will raid Viva stream after this. So if you want more of his amazing hair. Like, I don't know what's going on with the lineup anymore, but I'm doing my job. I just keep rating you, even though I don't know.
And I keep rating redacted if they're on, and then if they're not,
yeah.
I like the system. It's a good system, but
yeah, I feel like people have gotten a little sloppy. But what do you make of what's going on in Iran? Is this like CIA, like revolution? Is this a real revolution? Do you think that they're going to actually have a regime change there, a leadership change?
It's 3 words. I don't know, and I wouldn't even venture an opinion. This would be like when the war in Ukraine broke out. I was like, okay, I don't even know enough to ask the right questions. The issue is I don't believe anything anymore. Like, you say it hasn't been community noted yet, which is one indication.
We're the same page on that. Like, but then is this a new video, an old video?
Then they community note videos with like that one that Wall Street Apes put out about Venezuela that they community noted and said it was AI, and everyone's like, oh, it's fake, it's AI. And then you go click on the community note and it brings you to some generic Canadian government page of how to identify AI videos, and it doesn't confirm. So I don't know. I mean,
it's terrible.
It's been hijacked. I have two Iranian friends up in Canada because my wife, which in her postdoc worked with a bunch of Iranians, and they had fled, and they, they would be very happy to see the regime fall, as typically, people in diaspora would be happy. They're in diaspora because they can't live in their country.
They're not there.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a coup, if it's organic, if it's good, if it's bad, what's going to happen. What's going to happen to their enriched uranium that may have gone missing before the strikes 6 months ago. So I know I'll watch, but this is going to be another learning curve for me, much like the Russia-Ukrainian conflict was.
Interesting. What do you think? Are you following this at all, Sire, at all?
Yeah, I don't know whether this is real or whether it's a staged coup or what, but I do know that it will make Netanyahu unhappy.
Well, I mean, look, America already secured the world's second largest oil. You might as well just go get the first largest in Iran at this point. I mean, if you're just gonna be a crazy, a crazy world builder, and you're just going to say, well, we're going to go get Venezuela's oil. I guess at this point, you just go get Iran's. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'm not supporting that, but I'm saying at this point, I would not be surprised. All I know about Iran is that the people that live there don't seem to be happy with their leadership. Women used to walk around in bikinis and dresses, and now they're wearing they have towels on their heads. I would much rather see the people rise up than any other option for revolution.
Yeah, but the only problem is then you compare it to the Maidan revolution, you compare it to the Arab Springs. I mean, you don't know what's organic, if anything, or if anything has ever been organic. So
right,
the only question is like, what's going to happen in the aftermath to the weapons infighting? For what it's worth, Iran has the largest population of Jews outside of Israel in the Middle East, and they seem
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they it's in the Middle East. It's a pretty big caveat because every other country has systematically. Or every other
remove them
country. So it's a pretty multicultural country. The question is what's going to happen to these factions that have been living in relative peace compared to the region if all shit hits the fan. So
are we going to see Iraq all over again?
Yeah, I'm going to actually call my two friends. I talk to them, see what's
what
going on.
What do you got on your show coming up? Tell the people after our show's up. What do they got?
I don't want to talk about the Bongino stuff because I don't like the gossip nature of it. Gonna have to address it. Jake Lang and the.
I saw you went pretty hard on Jake. By the way, I don't care for Jake Lang at all. I support his freedom from the J6 stuff. I kind of agreed with your tweet last night. But since I'm on a Twitter break, I couldn't react. Cool. But
I feel I'm not going to express this in greater detail. I feel bad for him because I do think he's a broken person. But there's no realm of the universe where that behavior is
going around like Sig Heiling and all this nonsense.
And N-word lovers are it's like it's counterproductive. So if it's counterproductive, and I'm not Christian, so I'm not going to lecture people on what it means to be Christian, but one would think it's not in the teachings of Jesus Christ to do and say those things, even if you believe you have a legitimate underlying political point, which you do. The problem is, when they call them agitprop, it makes it impossible to defend those positions now, or for others to defend it with you, because I will not be associated with that. Directly or indirectly, and you can call me a sissy. Immigration problems are an issue, and when you act like that, you make it impossible to actually debate the legitimacy of the immigration policy because of the sheer,
it's so crazy beyond the pale that it's like, we can't even talk because you're so far off the reservation.
No, and then everybody will listen to you and say, "Oh, you're just like Jake Lang." It's like what Candace Owens did with Israel. It's like, now you can't criticize Israel without somebody lumping you together with Candace Owens. So it's that and Brian Cole Jr. filed an emergency motion demanding release and saying the court erred in detaining him pending trial. So it'll be some fun legal stuff.
Viva, we're definitely going to have you back. We're going to have you back for the trials. Like we're going to go on. Like, I know you're probably licking your chops. Like, we get perhaps a Tyler Robinson and a Luigi Mangione live stream trial in 2026. Like, the boys are back. Like, we could have some serious. It's going to be entertaining.
Well, I say in a cynical sense, entertaining. I am all for public broadcast trials. There's no but. There's nothing to that.
They should all be. Yeah,
they should all be. The only risk is, and we're going to see it happen in real time, you're going to have like Charles Manson, like sycophants and what's the word, groupies come out for Luigi Mangione. Maybe not quite so much for Tyler Robinson. And so that's always the risk. But that risk is one you have to take in a free and democratic society. I'm curious about the evidence in Mangione's case. Yes. And I really want to see the evidence in Tyler Robinson, because I don't believe the official narrative, only to the extent that I believe other people were involved, other people had advanced knowledge, and I want to know if other people are in being investigated currently. But it'll be wild.
Thanks for coming on, Viva. Everyone, make sure you go check him out. Viva Fry on, or is it Frey or Fry? I always say it wrong.
Because my last name is Freiheit, so I just took the first name.
Viva Fry on Rumble and on YouTube, as well as he does his show with Viva Barnes, law.locals.com. You can hang out, and they're doing all sorts of stuff. They're the only people I know that really crush it on Locals, and they've got a lot of cool stuff going on there. So join his Locals, and Viva will. I'll be down in Florida soon, so we'll hang
and go fishing.
Yes, yes, we will. All right, man.
Everybody have a good one. Godspeed.
Yep, see ya.
Bye, Viva.
Yeah.
Melanie, thank you for being so patient. Demonic or not demonic? I've been watching CES today. CES is a big thing. Right, for us nerds, at least. I don't know, Sire.
What is
Seems
it?
like he's got some media behind him. He might be a little bit of a
nerd. I've got about 6,000 video games.
Okay.
Nice.
Shit. Okay, all right.
Very good.
Oh,
well, geez.
you guys are all collectors on this panel.
Yeah. Well, I had to stop.
I've got one of the original ones that will erase your hard drive if you uninstall it.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. I want to finish an NES collection, all like 712 or whatever. I got to like 340, and I know people say like, well, you have a miles to go. I don't, because I bought all the expensive ones first. So I bought all the like Panic Restaurants and the Bubble Bobble 2s and like all the obscure like $2,000 titles. I bought those first. So I have like miles of garbage, obscure NES titles to go through to finish. I'm just waiting, because they went to like, you used to be able to buy these lots of like sealed. I'm a complete in box guy too, so it's even harder. But like, you used to be able to buy NES games for like $5 each. Then they went to like 50, and it's just like, I'm not paying $50 for Bases Loaded 4. Like, I'm not, it's like, I have no emotional attachment to this game. It's just chaff to complete the collection. And so I stopped. And but this was announced, Project Ava, today at CES. They're taking pre-orders.
Oh no.
Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. Morning, Joey. You were snoring again. Definitely wear your favorite green jacket. Look, now we're really vibing. Have a good day.
Hey, cutie.
Hi, Amanda. Great brainstorming last night.
brainstorming.
Oh,
Okay.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Narcissist society collapsing around us.
Oh no.
This is, I'm on the record of saying, like, men in particular are under attack from this stuff. Like, we're going to have a whole society of men who are single and having AI sex bots. Like,
they're like trying, this is going to keep people alone. This is going to keep people lonely. It is.
Yeah.
People were discussed it was Sixth Day when they had that AI in Sixth Day, the movie.
I don't remember that. What is that about?
It's about cloning, and it's got Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
Shout out. I felt like I've seen every Schwarzenegger. I'm going to have to look at this.
Stump Jeremy? Amazing.
No, I bet you I saw it. I just need to
say
see
that now. You just said I had to ask him what it was.
Well, here's the thing. Everything. No, I didn't see this. I remember movies based on their VHS cover, their covers. Because, that's how you got movies when I was young. You went to the. So did you see, look at that. Look at my Mother 2 vinyl. Like, I've got some obscure stuff here. There's a perfect example. Kid Clown. That's like a $2,000, $1,500 game that nobody plays, but it's expensive because it's, or Princess Tomato, or like Bubble
Princess
Bobble
Tomato's
2.
a classic.
It is.
That game is so good. I watched my dad try to beat that game for it took him forever. Because it changes when you open a cabinet or something.
Yes.
Something might not be there, but if you open it again and it might actually be
There's
there.
randomization.
And the final boss is a rock, paper, scissors match. And if you lose, you have to start over. It's crazy.
I missed that. Games used to punish you.
Those are irritations.
Games used to punish you. Whoa.
They did. Like, nowadays, you can save at any point in the game. Like, I was playing Final Fantasy again. I'm playing through that. Final Fantasy 7. I'm like, I can just pause and save at any moment. Like, even the old PlayStation version, I don't think was like that. You had to get to a save point.
Right.
Unless you were on the world map, I think. I can't remember exactly, but you used to, if you you had 5 lives and 3 continues, and if you didn't beat the game, you started over.
Oh yeah.
There was no let me just keep playing the final boss.
This is such a fun back in my day conversation. Back in my day, you couldn't just save the game.
Yeah, video games used to make you kill yourself. Now it's just like, but this thing, look, I'm definitely buying
it's
one.
An extension of I used to walk, uphill both ways.
Uphill both ways. Yeah.
I couldn't save my video games.
I will definitely buy one, but it will probably only be a novelty. But people will. We already talked about this. We're like, I don't know what Canada's. I think there's a loneliness crisis in America.
It's a worldwide problem.
It is.
And it's not just men. Like, obviously, I'm partial to covering the men who are suffering from this because, I'm a man. Just like a black person would be concerned about, black issues or Native.
I see women that keep posting about this. There's a Gooner game for women. I think it's on mobile. And it's got all these anime dudes on it. And these women keep posting about these men as well. And it's really cringe. And it's man, for me, a real guy, this is getting really weird when people are relying on anime boyfriends and girlfriends. And we laugh when in Japan they do that. It's I married my anime boyfriend or my anime girlfriend, and they're doing that in Japan, and we laugh at it. But
the girl who married the tree doesn't look that crazy anymore.
I know. It's gonna start happening here. And with things like this, and what Elon Musk is doing with the chat companions, it's getting really degenerate.
We're getting the transhumanism stuff and the
And no matter what angle you approach the loneliness crisis from, again, if you're interested in how it impacts men, it impacts teenagers, it impacts adult women. There are a lot of people impacted by this because ultimately it starts to compact the problem. If you're a man who's now closest emotional relationship is to a virtual desk assistant, you probably still feel lonely. You probably feel like it's probably not helping you discover skills or friend groups offline. You probably don't feel more comfortable interacting with other people. You're probably not getting married to a real life person and starting a family and then building relationships in your community. It's keeping people isolated and alone. And I think that's it's a way that we are robbing ourselves.
That is the goal. Yeah.
It is the goal.
Well,
Go ahead,
Can
sorry.
I give a bit of a white pill here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so all you guys listening on the stream, don't go for these electronic waifus, okay? Because if you do, you'll never have a daughter. You never get married.
Look at that's a
Never
good
have a daughter.
drawing.
That made an Animal Crossing Eternal meme.
Oh, look at that.
This is the most heartwarming moment of the show.
Yeah, full on
That's why
Astro.
you need to find a real girl, because then you can have a daughter who will do something like that for you for your birthday.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's so cute.
Oh my God! I brought you on to be.
I love it.
You're supposed to be my testro.
That
Now we're
is
full
masculine,
Astro
though.
cast.
Like wanting to have kids and celebrating how great they are. That's super masculine. You
Well,
get
I'm intersex, so I have a lot of testosterone problems. So
Oh, okay. By the way, Sarah, is there anything you wanted to like promote? Like we have some show left still, but like, is there anything you wanted to like, hey, the microphone is yours. We've got more stuff to talk about, but it's more goofy stuff. But like, you know, you helped us out with AmFest and we really, really appreciate that. And you know, I don't know if you have social media that you want people to follow or if you have causes in Canada that you want people to, you know, what did you want to talk about that I didn't talk about before we get into like the more kind of funny stuff and the less important stuff?
Well, just a couple of things. You can find me on X as Sire_Williamson.
Okay.
And I also promised the people at Dilly Wire that I'd give them a shout out.
Dilly Wire. Okay. That's a nice
made
needle
by one of
point.
the people at Dilly Wire, and we're the Daily Wire refugees. We were the original Discuss chat people.
Before they got rid of the comment sections and all that.
Oh.
So you can find them at dillywire.com. So
DILLY.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Dill Pickle.
All right.
So-
I love it. Yeah.
So funny.
Check out Dilly Wire. Yeah, well, you know who's going to make a ton of money on this? I can already see it. Like, think about these, like, what's her name? We should have her on the show. She's great. She's based, Kirsha. Like,
Oh yeah.
they're just going to license this to their fans, and you're going to be able to pay to have
my
Kirsha
God.
like in your living room, and like, it's going to be. I'm very.
Futurama episode.
Yes, right. I mean, I also had a couple of videos I wanted to share just to lighten the mood. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this one. I don't know who made it, but
Here at the South Park Leering Center, we're not just retarded, we're Minnesota retarded. Ilan Omar was educated here, and she's completely
her
retarded.
goat, and she's
And I
completely.
know this might come as a surprise, but I myself am retarded.
And they had now old South Park would have released something like that.
Yeah.
New South Park one.
Yeah.
But there's also this one that I thought was great. I love that there's more. I think people are probably using AI to make these, like animate this in the style of.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm enjoying these. This is from the Somali one.
All the kids, they were stolen from the daycare. Yes, every single one.
We don't know where they went.
Everything is fine, totally fine. Nothing wrong, really.
Just say it. Don't mess it up.
We good? We good?
You're saying all the children are missing from the daycare?
Yes, all the children
His eyes.
stolen. Homeland Security, they maybe took them,
Is that okay?
but everything totally fine. Yes, very fine.
With his like several $1,000 sunglasses on.
Yeah, that was a funny meme too. Like, you know what I thought was pretty funny about all these Somali scammers? I'm pretty sure that being a Muslim, just like also being a Christian, it's generally frowned upon to be so materialistic and to have. I notice how many of these, like, they're wearing a towel over their head and they have like Supreme phone covers and like designer bags and like $2,000 glasses and Gucci this and Gucci that. I'm like, this is
They gotta
not.
spend the money on something.
Yeah. Here's this other. Now I have a redeem it topic because again,
Okay.
for Melanie, and we'll just go back to a traditional kind of panel, go down the line from I'll start and we'll go down the line here. But like, New reports are coming out that basically Vivek's handlers have told him to get off social media because he's so wildly unlikable.
Oh man.
Like, I mean, it started with his Christmas Day post, right? Where he called us all lazy in America anyway. Us, when I say us, I mean me and Melanie and I. Then he had his Heritage American thing, which is fucking disgusting. I hate that shit. Like the whole like America's just an idea is designed to like, I don't know, remove your agency, or I don't know what the best way to describe it is, but I don't like it. It's like that guy in Congress. I was like, I don't know what pornography is, but I know it when I see it.
That was
like,
the Supreme Court.
Yeah, the Supreme Court. Like, I don't know what what anti-American shit is, but when it's like America's just an idea, like Ben Shapiro says that all the time, and people give him a bunch of grief for that. So now, I guess apparently, his numbers are so bad that he's like down. He was at like a 65% chance. I could probably look in call sheet actually. He was like a 75% chance to win the governorship, and now he's down to like 52 because every time he opens his mouth, he says something horrible. What do you make of that? Like, how does it not have a market? They got to have a market for Vivek Ramaswamy on here, but. Do you think now it dovetails into me feeling much better after not being on X? Yes, I peek at it to find stories because I have to.
Right.
But for the most part now, it's been a week and I don't miss it. Like I don't. Yep. And it also made me think of how many people I probably turned off with like too hot a take on X or like arguing with people. Like the collateral damage of that was like hurting my brand too. Yep. Like. Maybe you don't have to have a hot take on everything. Maybe you can just. It was like when we went and got Maduro from Venezuela. I was like, I don't have to have a take on this. I can think about it for a few days and like really get my head around it. So what do you make of Vivek's collapse, but also like kind of this more embracing that like social media? It's a tool, but it's losing its benefit. I think.
Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him at all. So I don't want him for anything. Like,
yeah, you don't like Vivek for a lot of reasons. He's also not Christian.
He's a Hindu, and like he has no business being in charge of anything in this country. Like, yeah, he can get a job at a call center.
I think one of the challenges with social media is like it can sometimes be a great launching place. Like there are some people who build whole careers off of like, having a good take, and that spins into writing, and they do contribute positively, but so much of it is just like a screaming match. And unfortunately, I think different personalities handle it in a variety of ways, and it can just drive a sense of egomania and always being right. And I don't know that that's helpful. I mean, Viva was just on and he was like talking about the Ukraine-Russia war. He's very knowledgeable. I know he takes time to learn things, and he's saying like, I didn't know enough about it, so I'm not going to comment. And I think that instinct to do that when you are addicted to X just goes away, and that's to your detriment. I think sometimes you see this with people running for office.
What do you think, Sarah?
Well, I'm a little biased on this because my wife is Indian.
Okay. Oh no.
So
you did redeem it.
Yes, but we met in 2002.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, I don't hate hashtag not all Indians. Just sort of saying.
No,
I will make fun of the call centers.
My wife and I both can't stand Vivek. The H-1B stuff. She was furious about H-1Bs. As the process that we had to go through for her to come over after we were married was insane, and it cost a ton of money.
Of course it did.
Just given free jobs in replace of Canadians.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, Canada, the interesting thing is like people act like H-1B is like a uniquely American thing. Jobs are getting massive, probably more so than Canada. Because remember when Trump's like, I'm going to close the border, and then Katy Perry's boyfriend was like, we're going to import more people. And it's like, read the room, dude. Like, this is not like, I think Vivek is probably cooked. Like he may win governor, maybe. But
I think you're right that the tides are turning. Did you see? I'm gonna try and send it to you. There's a guy named Casey Push, I think is how you pronounce his last name. And he just came out with this tweet that's like making the rounds right now about property taxes in Ohio. And he just announced 3 days ago. I mean, I think as we get a little bit closer, here I'm sending it to you in the private chat.
Got it.
I think as we get a little bit closer and
that is a strong cul-de-sac. This guy's cul-de-sac game is fucking amazing.
Look, and he's wearing it proud, you know? He's
Yeah,
like, this
I
is what
love
I
it.
look like. But it's also interesting because he's like, I think, again, if you watch someone
abolishing property taxes is hot right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's hot, you know.
That's one of the things the Alberta separatists are going to get rid of.
Oh, really?
Look,
They want,
you have so much in common.
Yeah.
I think one of the challenges is like Vivek had so much name recognition coming off of the presidential election, which like that was why he launched a presidential campaign, that there was sort of this like false sense of popularity because he's got a big following on social media, and it like tricks the mind. But as Ohioans buckle down, get closer to the race, I don't actually think he speaks for them or has the uniqueness that they think he is. Like there are lots of people who are willing to push big, bold ideas who might be a better fit for them morally in a number of ways.
There's a couple of viewer messages I want to get quick here. Local Wendigo says, Merry Christmas Eve to all my Orthodox brothers and sisters. What Christmas is June 7th or is that a meme? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Have a different calendar.
Yeah, their Christmas is a different day.
And Easter's different, you know.
Yeah.
Local Wendigo also said, Muhammad got rammed by 30 men in the desert. It actually says so in the Quran. Look, I have a lot of legitimate, strong criticisms, but I also don't want somebody to fucking blow me up. So I try to I have a healthy respect for how crazy some people are in that religion. Salah says, Islam isn't censored because they're anti-white. Christianity is practiced by whites in the West. The clarification about, quote, hate is going beyond disdain. Is so whites can be disdained, but not others. Yeah. Omega says, I did something similar 5 years ago. My pronouns are my Lord and His Grace. And I watched a Troon implode. They don't realize how much they impose until you throw it back at them. That's a big part of it too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're like, wait a minute, this is crazy. It's like, fucking yeah. That's what we've been saying. Did you see that?
I didn't have
video?
any enemies until I started making my own pronouns.
Right. And they're like, that's just for us. I don't know if I had this for, I don't want to play the video because it's a little lewd, but I don't know if you saw this making the rounds on social media. By the way, this is a big win too. Did you see the vaccine schedule reduction?
Oh, yeah.
Back from 72 back down to 11.
Good.
Sad baby drawing is like.
I love this. Yeah.
Rib death wasn't a thing before all of these injections.
Yeah, it wasn't. It certainly wasn't as prevalent, right? Like when it happened, it was like, now it's like, oh, crib death. Once you hear about that, like, oh, they had, a crib death, and you're like, people are more familiar with it now. There was this video of a man in the woman's bathroom. Did you guys see this? I'm not going to play it, but he was just like openly masturbating in the women's room.
Oh my!
Right?
I might have played without Melanie. Like I won't play it when Melanie's here. But they had like,
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
I protect her.
Thank you for
yeah.
I'm gonna file an HR complaint.
Yeah. Well, I have to protect Melanie.
Down.
Yeah. But that's like another this nonsense. So like a woman recorded it and like ended up like confronting the guy and was like, what? And then like, what the fuck are you doing? And like people are kind of getting sick of it. And they're just they're over it. From, it was always a scam, but now it's like, people are just, I had this video too, but for Melanie, but you've probably seen this video.
I learned a lot about women. I think I learned exactly how the fall of man occurred in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, and
I feel bad for her. I was telling you that.
Said one day, wow, Eve, here we are at one with nature, at one with God. We'll never age, we'll never die, and all our dreams come true the instant that we have them. And Eve said, yeah, it's just not enough, is it?
Oh no, she's fat.
That's not funny.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for more.
So that was kind of his point.
She just walked right into it. I was like, oh, I feel bad for you.
Funny.
Hashtag not all women, obviously. But I was like,
just the first.
Yeah, just the first one. Yeah. Like Melanie loves a little good old fashioned misogyny anyway. You know?
That's funny.
Also, I want to, by the way, shout out to Caleb Hammer, who is absolutely blowing up.
I love Caleb Hammer.
Did you see him with Gretchen, what's her face on?
Gretchen Whitmer? Yeah. That was a while ago, right? Like, or did she come back on? She was on for a while, I think.
I just saw a clip of it and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
He's actually secretly based. Like, he's more like an Asmongold based guy. He's not like a conservative. He's not. He doesn't go to church. He doesn't.
Moderate, normal way. Like, hey, this doesn't make sense. What are you doing? Like, common sense based.
Exactly. He had this couple on the other day, and I was like, man, this guy. Like, I feel this is so. I'm starting to think also Caleb's probably bringing on crazy people who like. Yeah. He's purposely bringing on the worst of the worst. Obviously, it's exactly what I would do too. Mm-hmm. And these people do get paid. It's not like Jerry Springer was successful because he brought on normal people.
Right, exactly.
You know, well, unfortunately for him, this method has a expiration date. Like, you're only going to get crazier and crazier people for so long, but I felt so bad for this guy.
He will pick a fight with a brick wall. We were in Whataburger the other day. Some lady came in and bitched about her food, and she's like, shut the
She's already
up.
huffing.
It's not that big of a deal. And it's like, dude.
She was yelling at a service worker.
Right, but that's her prerogative. She wants to yell at that lady. Don't get involved. This is why I had to carrying a gun in the car, was because you start shit with everybody on the road, and then they get out of the car and want to come fight me because of your mouth.
Oh, well, it's because you want to pick.
By the way, I see that happen all the time, in particular in the black community. Like, anywhere you see some black dude getting in a fight, 2 minutes before that, his woman was running her mouth, and like she got him. Now he's got to cash a check that his wife's ass. Like, he's like, fuck, you know, like.
What are you talking about? You called somebody ugly in the Walmart parking lot yesterday for cutting you off. You seriously hurt that dude's feelings too. I'm not even.
Look how proud she is too. Oh, she's such a twat.
Don't laugh about it. Dude, you seriously like ruined that guy's day because he took a parking spot. And then, are we even gonna go as far as like the fucking Reno's incident?
Uh-oh.
When we went out, you fucking yelled at that whole group of girls for just having a good time.
When?
Tell me about it.
Like, no, you.
Caleb's like, this is gold.
I do
to everybody, and that's a fucking problem. So yeah,
it's
I smoked a little bit of. Yeah. What do you mean it's not a fucking problem, dude? I have guys coming out of their car with a fucking tire iron.
That's because it's your fault,
it's
not
my
mine.
fault. I'm not the one that rolled down my fucking window. Shut up, ugly. Blah 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 blah. Like, dude, you're gonna get us fucking killed.
Well, if they deserve it, they deserve it.
Dude. Yes, I fucking go smoke nicotine because I have to deal with you. Yes, you are.
He should leave her. I'm not a big proponent of divorce, but like.
Also, she should go to therapy. Like, if you, you can't even take responsibility in this conversation. She's like, well, they deserve it. Like, she's proud of herself. Like, this girl's got some emotional issues.
Yeah.
She does.
And you know what's wild is like, she doesn't look like the type of person that would be talking that much shit. I know that's mean to say, but like, a giant fat woman, like, generally isn't gonna. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I
think
see all
bitter,
types.
mean people who hate themselves are probably going to talk.
You're right. I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. But this guy's got to get out, brother. Like, get out. She probably will get him killed. Like, you know, like, I don't understand. But yeah, entitlement, this kind of attitude, really. Goodness. Yeah. Yikes. Yeah. The other thing, I a bit of pop culture. Hannah Clark and her eyes can glaze over here.
I'm good at pop culture, I swear.
Kathleen Kennedy, I guess, finally officially out at Disney. Is there any? I was like, to be fair, so I don't know. This topic may flop because I don't know if anyone on this set really gives a shit about Star Wars anymore. But like, I was not a Star Wars guy. Like, I was Star Trek, to be honest with you, and like. I've seen the Star Wars movie. They're whatever. Like, I didn't grow up with them. I don't have any kind of emotional attachment to them. But I think it's like, so when I was crashing and burning, I was like covering it, but I was not personally hurt by it. But I wonder, like, boy, you left her around long enough.
They did. Like she just
it's done.
Tanked Star Wars. But the thing is they probably just ran out of that BlackRock DEI money, whatever it is, like that. And so it's like, okay, now we can get rid of her and try to recover from this gigantic mess that she made.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that lesbian space witches did not catch on?
Surprise!
Yeah. They were scissoring to create the Force. It's really bizarre. And by the way, they replaced her with 2 men because of course they had to. You freaking know. They're like, well, we got to have 2. If we're they wanted to replace her with Dave Filoni, obviously the only guy that anybody has any real faith in terms of Star Wars. And look, I've been seeing some
Why? Because he's just like better. What's his deal?
He seems to be like in the know with like what the fans like. He was in charge of The Mandalorian, which was generally liked by people.
Liked The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I've been first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I gave up when they fired Gina, but I've been seeing shorts from it come up lately. And I was like, that from seasons I didn't see. I'm like, oh, the show's actually okay. I just like didn't watch it because they did that to Gina. But like, with her, like her being out, it's like, I just thought it was so funny. The symbol, like only 2 men can do the job of 1 woman. And I was like, can you guys fucking stop for one day? Like this woman, they paid how many billions to buy Star Wars? $5, $6, $7 billion or something to buy Star Wars. This woman completely turned the franchise into a joke. And then they're still doing it. They're like, well, we need 2 people because obviously that's why Kathleen Kennedy failed. Not space witches scissoring to create the Force or Ahsoka, which nobody watched, or like Kathleen Kennedy is the definition of that woman didn't earn diddly dick. She did Indiana Jones a million years ago. She made the new Indiana Joneses, which all flopped. Yeah. Every Star Wars property she was in charge of flopped. Like no other person on Earth stays in their job this long. You just, and now it's like
Marvel's doing too. Like
same, Marvel's cooked too. Mm-hmm. Like both franchises suffered the same fate, and Melanie talks about this all the time too.
Yep.
They abandoned the men that made the franchise great in the first place in search of a mythical female audience that didn't exist in bigger numbers than already. There are women that like Marvel. There are women that like video games.
And when they do stuff and they're like, oh, wait, we're going to try to bring in more women, then they exclude the women who already liked it in the first place.
The women who liked it.
We just wanted them to do what they were already doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they did like a focus group with like genuine female Marvel fans. And we're like, so what do you guys like? And they would be like, just how it is. Maybe some more of this, like normal fan stuff. And they'd be like, okay. That's not enough. We've got to go ask women who don't care about this. Like it doesn't make any sense. But
women Thor just fine. They didn't need Captain
My daughter
Marvel.
likes Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and there's actually some good female characters in the Batman universe. Unfortunately, they're all villains. Like, Poison Ivy, I think Batgirl's kind of a joke. Yeah. But like Poison Ivy was great. Obviously, Harley Quinn. They tried. The problem with the reason Harley Quinn failed is because they tried to make it a movie for women instead of like having Harley Quinn be hot and sexy, which she is in the movies, but like they tried to make it this feminist bullshit. I remember they had the guy. What is his stupid name? He was a Star Wars actor too. He did an interview on the late night show, and he's like, this movie's going to make misogynists be scared and hide in the closet. I'm like, who the fuck do you think we're buying Harley Quinn dolls for the last and action figures for the past 30 years? Women? No.
You're just going against your own audience here.
Oh my God. Yeah. If anything, I think, Harley Quinn probably had a bigger like gender divide. Like was probably liked more by men than women.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I wound Jeremy up a bit there.
Well, it's because all of my favorite things suck now.
Yeah.
And that's just like, I don't give a shit about Marvel. It is. It's like, well, that's why I've gone back to history to re-enjoy things that are already exist. Like start rewatching Supernatural again. Like all these like shows that, are good, or rewatching the X-Files. It's just like, I don't care about Marvel or Star Wars anymore because they are so bad and now by the time they fix it, I'll be 50. So I'm like, am I really going to get the fucking Star Wars popcorn bucket and the BB-8 doll at 50? It's already bad enough I was doing it in my 30s.
Well, they ruined Star Trek and Lord of the Rings. And...
Star Trek was bad. There's a new Lord of the Rings movie coming out, and Ian McKellen and what's his name? Frodo's actor are both in it. Did you guys see that?
Oh, I didn't know Frodo was in it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a good sign, or is that like?
I don't know. There's not supposed to be a sequel.
And Andy Serkis is like a big part of it as well. So I'm kind of neutral on it right now. It could be good. We'll see.
So light optimism. Okay.
There's a new Lord of the Rings movie, but unfortunately, it's about Gollum. And I'm like,
right?
I don't know. I mean, like, I've only ever read the book.
They already did a Gollum movie.
They did? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
a multi-part movie a multi-part series that was a critical and fan flop. Like,
maybe that's why they're like, we've got.
Well, it was technically not the Gollum, right? It was the first book. What are they? It was
the Silmarillion thing, or
not the
Hobbit?
The Hobbit. Yeah.
Oh,
so they did the Hobbit and they broke it
yeah.
up into 2 parts, and it was fucking terrible.
Well, the last movie I think was awful. Yeah, it was 3. The third one was the worst.
Yeah.
I actually liked Desolation of Smog. I thought
that was okay
because
the dragon's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like,
that last
I don't need
one was
Gollum.
so embarrassingly bad.
Yeah.
Well, they made a Gollum video game too.
Yes.
They did.
Yeah. The hunt for Gollum feels so dumb. The only thing I'm thinking, what if it was like, well, because he died at the end. So I was thinking like, oh, what if they went back and he didn't die? Like, they could do that. Like, he didn't die, and so then they're seeking him after they threw the ring in Mount Doom. That could be okay. Like, but what are you talking about, the hunt for Gollum? Like, why would an older Frodo and an older Gandalf be searching for Gollum in a prequel? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I'm curious.
It's going to have to be.
There's a mention in the movies that that Gandalf looked for Gollum, and
yes,
he was already caught at the Black Gate or something like that. I might be wrong,
but he fell into the lava at the end.
Yeah, well, it's like, and if he didn't fall into the lava, they would have never destroyed the ring because Frodo wouldn't throw it in the lava.
Yeah, he held on to it, and like so, I mean, he obviously didn't survive the lava. So if they're going to rewrite history, I guess maybe chat knows. But if they're going to rewrite history and then do that, that might be interesting. If Gollum really survived falling into Mount Doom somehow and through some magic spell or something like that, and that could be interesting.
The most powerful ring in the universe was destroyed.
Oh, it protected him.
Mount Doom, but somehow Gollum was saved.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying there wouldn't be obvious like plot holes, but I don't want to watch another prequel and then like Frodo's 100 years old and Gandalf's another 50 years old. Like, you know, I just, nobody's asking for this. That's kind of the thing. Like, I mean, golly, I mean, if anything, look at what happened to the series on Amazon. If you want to question about whether or not people are demanding this, they're not. They're like, oh well, we'll have. Oh, by the way, I missed some YouTube super chats. Qatar.gov says 2 Canadians and HCB, who is Canadian curious. People say Israel's behind everything though. Jason says the only person Dan has to blame is Dan himself. Fair. I am not as mad at Dan. I know people are really mad at Dan. And I'm let them live their truth. That's fine. I prefer to be a little bit more optimistic and say like, you know, he did the best he could and he quit. Like, people hate him because he's pro-Israel. I don't have Israel derangement syndrome, so I don't really care about that about him. I don't really care that he took a job and quit it when he couldn't make change. But I understand people do. And I'm not saying that their feelings are invalid. Ricky says, Happy New Year's, blokes and blokettes. I look forward to another year of having you on, keeping me company on the road. An easy 600 miles today. Damn, that's a long drive. That's 10 hours.
Wow.
Qatar.gov says, fun fact, the Canadian government and the UK could get a complete flip of all these laws, could put former politicians in jail. Of course, we'd never get it. Well, sure. Dave Chandler says, does Melanie have a kid we aren't aware of? No, that's just a pastor that, you know.
I'm sure his parents are very proud, though.
Yeah. Oh, sure. He does have a little bit of that like a little bit of that mega church.
He does.
Joel
He
Osteen
watches
vibe. Yeah, he watches
He
Joel
watches.
Osteen.
Well, Joel Osteen
Yeah.
would not have the balls to say all that, though. That's the difference.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Joel would not, because
He
he's like,
preaches a very like hippie gospel, very woke gospel at the end of the day. So, yeah,
You need
maybe
butts and
this
seats.
kid is like the
prosperity. Yes. Yeah. Prosperity
he does.
gospel.
He
Yeah.
preaches that prosperity gospel. So, yeah, maybe this kid will grow up to be the nemesis of Joel Osteen.
That would be great. Yeah. Wyman to Coconut says Dave Filoni is liked by some because he did the animated Star Wars show that certain age demographic loved his kids. He's more of a feminist than Kathleen Kennedy, though. He's a bit of a hack. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say anything he's done now is like blowing my skirt up. Like he was, you know, people give him a lot of credit for The Mandalorian.
You're
but,
wearing a skirt under, they just can't see it.
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
Cam says Aragorn was sent by Gandalf to find Gollum and dragged back from Mordor between The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings stories.
Oh, but sadly, I don't think
Okay.
Vigo's coming
Yeah, I was
back.
correct. I knew
Vigo-
somebody would know more about it than
Didn't they say Vigo's not coming back?
He's not coming back. Yeah,
so how
he's
do
not.
you have Aragorn without Vigo? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's going to be weird. Don't even
Yeah.
bother. Drex is unused. Baldo says, I can't help but get flashbacks to the Family Guy Hobbit spoof. Damn ring got stuck on the porridge. I mean, Gollum had to get it off so he could have it back with his mouth. Childhood trauma. Yeah, that was, back when Family Guy was good too. I watched the last 2 seasons of Family Guy because I just put something on while I'm chilling at night. Fucking awful. Like on the nose politics, like entire episodes of making fun of like Chris Christie. And I'm like, dude, like this is not what I want to like unplug from politics. I don't want.
Yeah.
Simpsons is like that too.
Simpsons, yeah. They used to have like, I mean, you knew they were liberal, but it's not like now in the last 3 or 4 years, they're like outright have Trump on the show and make fun of him. And it's like, I can't even get away. Like, I know you're liberal, but I'm still entertained by your show. Just, I don't need entire episodes about Roe v. Wade, which both Simpsons and Family Guy did.
Yeah.
Dark says Kathleen Kennedy is an actual JFK and RFK relative. So Disney didn't want to burn that bridge. Well, that's a fun point. Yeah. Drex says, I bet she wasn't that morbidly obese when they got married. She should be a clause for divorce on grounds of biological incompatibility. Sorry, I'm allergic to cellulite, probably fat phobic. You and Melanie would probably get along. People forget that Canadians were originally French. If they want to leave and get blocked, it may be time to go to the hardware store. 10 pieces of wood, 1 rope, 1 XXL razor, aka Dictator Deleter. Yeah, shout out to the Lemonade Stand documentary that why can't I think of his name right now? Rusty Cage did, by the way. Watch Bob's Burgers to escape politics. I know Bob's Burgers is my last bastion. Like American Dad does it a little bit, but yeah, Bob's Burgers doesn't come back till February though. I do have to give a quick shout out to a sponsor. So enjoy this.
An accident or injured in any way, you should know how to protect your rights. That's why I'm so glad to have this video sponsor Morgan & Morgan. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions of dollars. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle for lowball offers. Just in the past couple of months, Morgan & Morgan saw verdicts of $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer, $26 million in Philadelphia, 40 times the highest insurance offer, and $6.8 million in New York, 25 times the highest insurance offer. Their fee is absolutely free unless you win. Fighting big companies takes a big law firm. As America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan are ready to take on insurance companies of all sizes. Morgan & Morgan has modernized the injury law process so you can submit a claim and communicate with your legal team all from your smartphone. And remember, size matters. Morgan & Morgan is big. They're America's largest injury law firm. That means they have the resources to fight to get you the best results, and they're capable of spending millions on a case to see it through. Did you know you can start a claim with America's largest injury law firm in just one click? It's so easy. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/quartering or click the link in the description down below.
I have this last topic too, by the way. So Colin Wright just wrote in response to Dan Bush. So maybe we know, maybe this is some more, because Colin Wright, I don't know. I used to like him and now I feel like I don't like him. I don't know. I can't keep track of this stuff. So that's why I'm glad I'm off X. But like he wrote, I I used to believe ignoring Candace Owens was the move. I no longer believe that. At the time, I already thought what she was doing to Charlie, Erica, and TPUSA was reprehensible. Since then, however, she has descended to a level of evil and absurdity that I could not have imagined. The effort it took to refrain from commenting on her behavior was immense. Still, I believe that depriving her of attention was probably the wiser. He's quote tweeting Dan Bongino's tweet now. He says, on December 31st, I attended a New Year's gathering in my neighborhood and found myself in a conversation with a woman in her late 50s. That's a Candace fan. She seemed normal at first. Then the conversation somehow took a turn. She suddenly began ranting about evil Zionists controlling the government and blamed Jews for nearly every major evil in the world. She then brought up Charlie Kirk and stated that without hesitation or qualification, that Erica Kirk had approved and orchestrated her husband's assassination, along with others at TPOSA. This was presented as an established fact. Although she never mentioned Candace Owens by name, it was obvious where this idea came from. Wow. Candace insists that she's just asking questions, but has not explicitly claimed that Erica ordered her husband's murder, but her audience has no trouble reading between the lines. He then said, in recent weeks, though, it's become the right has a fully mounted and immune response to not just Candace Owens, but others in her orbit, like Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. Ben Shapiro, Vivek Ramaswamy, Seth Dillon, Ali Beth Stuckey, and others have spoken with sharp moral clarity against Owens and her ilk. Now Dan Bongino has joined them. So apparently Colin Wright sees this tweet by Dan as about, nothing Tucker. I feel like Tucker used to be more interesting to me. Now he's just like kind of a dork. But like, somebody's cat's mad. Was that yours, Santa Clara? Sire, is that your
muted.
cat?
You're muted.
I don't have a cat in here.
Oh.
Oh, was that mine? Oh, he's right here. So
it is your cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess this came up. It looks like they are talking about, you see Graham Allen too. There is kind of this pushback. I will continue to kind of ignore her because like my viewers that believe her are not going to be convinced otherwise.
Right.
They know where I stand. I think she's an evil bitch, but like I'm not going to convince any of my viewers otherwise. So there's really no point. It's why I keep telling Tim, like, dude, stop bringing her up on your show. Like, your viewers who support her are not going to change your mind because you think she's evil. But now it seems like there's going to be this. Maybe it'll be a good thing. I don't know. But what do you think? So now, we'll see if Dan has any balls and calls her out by name. I won't give him any respect if he doesn't call him out by name. If he doesn't go and call people out by name, then he's being a coward, I think.
Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to see what he has to say.
Oh, wait, Hannah Claire's muted? Are you muted?
Yeah, she's been muted for like
she is
15
muted.
minutes.
Oh, damn. Yeah,
I know.
She just said what? I know that, but she's definitely muted.
She's doing the sign language segment of the stream now.
I thought we had just a little bit too much flow here. What is, hang on, she says. Okay. Well, I do at that point, I'll let her get her sign off in here, but let the people know where they can find you. We'll start with Sire and then go to Melanie and then to Hannah Claire if she ever gets her mic fixed. Otherwise, I will do her sign off for her. So Sire, where can people find you? What do you got going on? Thanks for joining us and thanks for supporting us on our very expensive trip to TPUSA's AmFest. It was spendy. Melanie eats a lot. And
yeah, I do.
Yeah. And so does Hannah Claire's baby.
At least Hannah wasn't pregnant anymore, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
She might be.
Yeah. Confirmed here.
You heard it here first.
So yeah, you heard it here first.
She's not denying it. I haven't heard her deny
Well,
it.
I just wanted to make a quick correction before I say it. I said that I was on CPAC with Derek Fildebrandt, and I meant Derek Sloan.
Oh, okay.
Both of them are politicians. One is provincial, one is federal, and it was the federal Derek Sloan. So apologies to Derek Sloan for making that mistake.
Yeah, no worries. Melanie.
All right. Yeah, you guys can find me at Melanie Mac. I'm going to be streaming some probably Bloodborne tonight. And then on Instagram, you can find me at Melanie Mac as well. I post my stories all the time and posted about the Steelers game I went to, which was amazing. So
yeah, I was happy for you. I don't think she's gonna get her mic back, but I'll so go Steelers this weekend, go Packers. We're not gonna beat Seattle in Seattle. So hopefully we can at least beat Chicago.
You got this.
Yeah, and
This time.
So with that, Hannah Claire, you can find Hannah Claire everywhere at Hannah Claire B on Rumble and YouTube and X, and her Instagram, I believe, is some version of that with an underscore. It's just Hannah Claire B, one word on Instagram. Nope, just okay. Well, you have to find her. Yeah, chat. Yeah, the mods will get that. Thanks for coming on, Sire. Good luck with the Canadian Revolution. And I'm going to get off because I have an appointment to get to here. And we'll be back tomorrow at 2 Eastern with everybody's favorite Luke, everyone's favorite TDS sufferer Luke, and Hannah Claire. And then we'll be back Thursday with our normal Astrocast. So thanks, everyone.